on to give you the rest of the birth story. So after the little lamb was born and he was on his mom's chest for skin to skin, at that point my husband had went out to stay with the little girl, with their little girl, so that Daddy could come in too and see baby some more. And they were going to bring the little sister in right after I was cleaned up, and they did. They brung her in right after everything was cleaned up. But then I hemorrhaged. So Dad left to get my husband and to tell him to get back in there. They're not sure what caused me to hemorrhage. They have no idea. But at the same time that I hemorrhaged, my heart rate went up to 225 beats per minute. And so they're not sure if my irregular heartbeat caused the bleeding, or, caused it to where I didn't clot the way I was supposed to or whatever, and the bleeding continued and I hemorrhaged, or if the hemorrhaging made my heart rate, or if the medication that they gave me to stop the bleeding, they don't know what happened. But by this time, it's like 3 something, and the doctor's back in trying to get the bleeding to stop, and my room is full of doctors and nurses messing with my heart. And the whole time I'm sitting there, like, looking at you guys, the way I'm looking right now is the way I was looking at these people. Like, I don't know why y'all are in such a frenzy, because I felt fine. I wasn't lightheaded. I wasn't dizzy. I didn't have blurred vision. I was fine. My husband kept looking at me, and he was scared and kept saying, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "I'm fine. I'm fine." And that's what I told everybody. Every time someone said, "Are you okay?" I said, "Yeah, I'm fine." But my heart rate did stay up in the 200s for a while. So they moved me, once they got the bleeding slowed down, they moved me from delivery to ICU. And I went in ICU, and they started giving me all these medications to help my heart. They gave me blood because I'd lost so much blood. They did a echocardiogram. Everything looked fine, just my heart rate was way up high. By that night, they finally got my heart rate down to 125, and I stayed in ICU until about, I guess, 1 o'clock the next day, so almost 24 hours in ICU, maybe a little bit longer. They finally moved me to postpartum, and I was fine. I was able to do everything normal. They still were giving me medication for my heart, and something else they were giving me. I can't remember. I don't remember what it was, but I had to have it like 2 or 3 times in IV. So I was able to go home that Sunday. I had the baby on the Friday, stayed all night Friday in ICU on Friday, postpartum on Saturday, and was able to come home on Sunday. And then Tuesday I started having really bad pain in my right hip. And it got to the point to where I couldn't walk. That was the October 1st, I believe. So I got really bad pains in my right hip, and by Wednesday I was barely able to walk. By Thursday I couldn't walk at all because the pain was so bad. So I started going to a chiropractor and still couldn't walk. So I finally called the OB. Well, no, I had called the OB first, and they referred me, or sent me in some medication for inflammation, and I was taking that. By this 2 weeks, I was almost done taking that, and I still couldn't walk. So they sent me to a orthopedic surgeon, and they did an x-ray. There was nothing wrong with my hip. So they did an MRI the next day, which was last Friday, and I have a bulging disc in my lower back that was pushing on my right side. And so on Thursday, because they had me on steroids and stuff, on that Thursday, yesterday, I had a epidural steroid shot. I am still not able to walk because the pain is so bad. I'm barely able to pull myself up. But hopefully the steroid shot will sink in, and I'll be done. Because of all the medication I've had to start taking because of my hip, I had to stop pumping, which made me really sad because I was wanting to pump for at least 6 months. And I was doing really good, even though I couldn't get up and do a whole lot for myself. I had to have help. I was still producing pretty good. Um, but the pain was so bad I couldn't take it anymore. There was no way I was going to be able to continue to go without getting on some strong medication. I am able to do a lot more than I was. I can get myself up and onto a little scooter to move myself around, and I can go to the bathroom by myself, which I wasn't able to do the first week and a half that I had this issue. So I'm hoping that the steroid works and I am able to walk before Halloween. Halloween's next, Friday, Thursday? This coming next Thursday, because today's Friday, next Thursday. And I would like to take my kids trick-or-treating. I had to miss a lot this month. I wasn't able to go to my daughter's book thing that she did at school. I wasn't able to take her to the book fair. I wasn't able to do tea with her at school. I couldn't take my son on his field trip, so my husband had to take him. I couldn't go to the parent-teacher conference yesterday, so the teachers had to call me. There's just a lot of things I haven't been able to do because of this issue with my hip. Now, the issue with my heart's fine. They said that I am, like, when my adrenaline gets going, and my threshold for adrenaline is low compared to other people's, I guess. So it doesn't take a whole lot to get me going. But other than that, my heart's fine. Nothing was showed on the echocardiogram that would have a problem. I do have to go back to the cardiologist in 6 months just for a checkup, just for clear of mind. I'm technically cleared by cardiologist. I'm cleared by OB. I do have my follow-up appointment, my postpartum appointment coming this Monday, but I'm cleared to go back to work. I just have to start walking again. So I have to get, I guess, cleared by orthopedic and walk before I can go back to work. So hopefully that will be soon, and by next week I'll be walking, the week after I'll be back at work. So we'll just see. So that's the trauma that happened after having baby. I do not regret a thing. Unfortunately, this will be my last pregnancy. I'm not going to put myself through this again. Chance in hurting my back, chance in hemorrhaging and losing my life or the babies. I am so grateful that I was able to do this. I'm so happy that I was able to carry that baby. He is so beautiful. He is so adorable. He looks just like his mama. And that's it. That was the afterbirth trauma of what happened. So I'll get these videos uploaded to you guys, and if y'all have any more questions, I will be happy to answer them.